chin na. Let's kind of demystify some stuff, because the problem in a sensao, in a combative setting, is that you have to understand street practicality.
Right.
And sometimes people just will say, well, you do this, and the person flies all over the place. And then years later, they find out, that didn't work in the street fight I was in.
So here's our lovely SOV. So one of the things I want to talk about, we're going to first do one of the things that everybody tries to do is the reverse wrist leverage. This. Now, try it. Have you ever met somebody who goes, I learned something in Kung Fu today. Can I give me your wrist? And then somebody, and he's going, I'm not going to let him. Don't let me do it. I'm trying to turn his wrist, right? Now, the other thing is, I'm trying to grab his wrist or grab his arm. Don't let me grab your hand. Okay? Right? Just try to do that crap. All this time he goes like this. That other hand could have just, so if I go like this, boom! That's the problem. So,
let's talk about the wrist. So we're going to talk about starting at the articulation at the wrist here. So what we do is we grab the inside of the palm, right? And if you're dealing with a person with a bigger hand, you can use this to other hand to assist, right? And we're going to turn and we're going to utilize the radius and the ulna here. And we're going to rotate it around, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take his palm from a supine position and take it to a prone position, okay? So the palm is going to be up, and then I'm going to rotate it down. Now, it depends on your grip strength. Now, one of the things that we should probably share with everyone is if you're going to do chin na, you're going to need strong grip strength, right? I'll let you say. So, picking up heavy weights.
children again.
I knew we were going to go there. The other thing is, don't get arthritis doing this, but fingertip push-ups. You know, you may not have to start on your knees to do them, but most people see a chin na video, they go, I can't believe they can't, because they don't have the grip strength, because you're going to use this thumb like a handle, right? And so when you go in, and then make sure that you're not doing this motion here. Okay, keep it close, and the closer to you, the easier it is to use. Okay, so when you're utilizing chin na, this is just the simple motion itself. This is not sensao. This is just the motion. So it's one word in a sentence.
Right, and to further on it, real simple. Let's do this. Hello, when we're doing this, he has 50% of the power, I have 50% of the power. Now what we want to have is more power, right? If the more he pulls me to him, the more power he gains. The more I pull it to me, the more power I gain. So if he pulls to me, right, and I need to bring that power back, I go there, and I do that.
From a sensao standpoint, right, he's obviously not going to allow me to reach and grab, right? So I go to reach and I go to grab. Now, if that's the case, here, let's actually come with this. I want you guys to see this. If I'm going to reach, right, what do you think he's going to do? Pull his hand back. Let's just talk about reaching. If you ever decide you're going to reach, you're going to have to go to where the hand is going to be, not to where the hand's at. So if you reach this way, it's hard, right? But if I go back, now he runs into my palm. Now, it's still hard to bring your hand around and do that. That's one thing. So one of the things, let's say if the SOB throws me a punch, right? I'm going to come around here and block. Now, some people, there's a lot of ways you can go into a chin na from this. But here's kind of that secret sauce that makes it work for you. Let's say if the SOB throws me a punch, I do an upward mill, now I have to put him in pain. Boom. The hands go to the face, there's my chin na. Right? Now, how do I bridge the gap? Let's bridge the gap now. Same thing, nice and slow. I go here, boom, I do a downward mill, he runs, and then there's my chin na right there. Okay? By the way, a little sidebar. It drives me nuts when I see instructors grab the wrist like this and just fling the person over. It doesn't mean you can't do it, it just means that everyone can't do it. Right? What I like about joint manipulation is if you gather your fingers strong enough, or let's say if you're not, you can know how to use both sides, then it becomes easier. So let's talk about this concept again. So I block here, punch, boom, he goes to his face. I'm gonna use what we call a down windmill, and as he's coming up, I'm coming down. He's gonna run directly, see where I'm at now? right? And then I'm gonna pull back or go in on the 45 and I'm going to attack the joint that way. That's just one of so many ways, which I won't give a lot of ways. That's the only way I'm doing. Do it one more time. Come over here, SOB, right? And so you guys can see this. I'm gonna block, punch, and when he comes up, I'm going to shift. Okay, so let's do that again. Like we're good dance move. 1, 2, 3. See where the hand's at? Now it's easier. Gotta remember, he's responding to pain, and I'm extremely strategic, and that's combat. That's the way we do our sensao. That's the combat of it. And so when you're doing it, then you create the motion. I don't want to create a big motion here. I want to attack the smallest joint here, which is the wrist in this case. Okay, it's smaller than the elbow and smaller than the shoulder. So remember that when you're creating Chin Na, because this is just a method and a principle that you'll work through all the same concept. What about you, brother?
Right, I mean, actually, amazing information. Well, the biggest thing is, if you ever, like what Sifu was saying about throwing somebody like that, that really doesn't happen in the street. If I did this, here, and I do that, just that shoulder is going.
Right.
It's just gonna go. That's not gonna do that.
Oh, wait. But in a movie, I saw that happen.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is with your left foot forward, the left hand comes up simply. We'll just do that. Right? Okay? Pain compliance. Do not do a Chin Na until you give the person pain. From there, we're gonna hit to the groin or the wherever. So now what I want to do is now I can grab here, because if he grabs at the groin, I don't want to reach down here and get hit. What I want to do is pull it out here. Notice I gave it here and here. So this comes here, and move down like so. So one more time. So dragon, it goes boom, right? Notice I give myself a fortress here, whoop-pow, right? Hit to the groin. I'm gonna pull this out, grab across, swing, and bring it down. Down. Not this. Down. Right? There are certain circles that you could work on. Right? These are these quick circles, the small circles, which my old teacher used to call a snake circle. Right? The water circle, where I go here. Right? The grand circle, or crane or dragons. Here. Then you go down. Your whole body goes like that. Right? Leopard circles are when you, whatever. Anyways.
So watch what happens, the looping circles that take place in his body as I do this. So I'm going to turn the wrist, right? Now watch, the elbow will move next, because now the wrist is locked. Boom. Now it's going to go up. Now the shoulder is going to move. Boom. Now the hip is going to move. Boom. Now the knee is going to move. Bam. There you go. There you go. So the concept is, think of it in a spiral as you're doing these type of Chin Nas. Obviously, we're going slow here, but the concept is you're going to do this fast, and then like my brother here would say, you're not going to fly all over the place. You see what he did? It just went straight down, because that's where my circle went. It went straight down, and his body, because at each joint, it starts to move, and so it's very important to practice that when you're doing it. And that's why you have to go slow and have a compliant partner. The thing I will say is, you saw we get to a point and the SOB just kind of stood there, right? He wasn't being a bad workout partner. It was my job to continue the circle until he moved.
Right.
And that's what a good partner does. Some people are like, well, you want resistance? I go, well, if he did resistance, then he would tear the own ligaments in his shoulder or his elbow or his wrist. But what I did need him to do is not just give it to me. I have to know to keep going, and then that's what took place. So, shall we move on to the next?
Let's do the next.
Boom! How's that?
That's all. Magic. Chin Na. See, if you ever do this, can you do this? This is the ultimate Chin Na. If you could do this, your Chin Na is awesome.
I call old man swiveling his fingers.
Yes. Come here. He's like, hey baby. They would be running away or running to me. I don't know.
You'd be like, I don't know why girls run.
Thank you.
I run the little girl.
They'll be throwing something at my
No, not
face.
creepy at all.